Hey guys, good morning, and it is a beautiful morning. It's about 72 degrees. That's like 23 Celsius, something like that. Not very humid. I'm in Kalorama. We just saw the Vice President leave the Naval Observatory on the way to the office. We're going to swing by some of the ambassadors' houses and make our way to the White House. So there's the Afghanistan embassy. They got a police car out here today. Interesting. Unpaid traffic tickets, maybe. Still has the Afghan flag, doesn't have a Taliban flag, but for how long, who knows. Down here is the embassy of Monaco. That's the Principality of Monaco, that's the ambassador's place. That used to be Calvin Coolidge's house. President Coolidge, he lived over there, and then the embassy of Monaco took it over. But the house I wanted to see is over here. Yeah, my favorite house, the French ambassador's house, because it's empty. The French government has recalled their ambassador to the United States for consultations back in Paris. So the French ambassador got on a plane and flew back to Paris, supposedly, for discussions regarding France-US relations and the submarine deal. But there you can see the Statue of Liberty in front of the French ambassador's house. And it is a gorgeous, gorgeous house. Probably my favorite ambassador's residence in Washington, D.C. Though someone just told me the Belgians have a really good ambassador's residence too. So maybe we'll check that out one day. Alrighty, let's get over to Connecticut and make our way downtown. We've got a helicopter landing today. So let's swing over by the Hilton. This is the Hilton, Washington, D.C. Also known as the Hinkley Hilton, for this is where the assassination attempt on President Reagan took place. Right here in front of that wall, there's a little plaque over there in memory of that attack. Technically, no one died at the time, but when James Brady died later in life, I believe it was technically classified as a homicide, though he had been shot many years early. I'm not sure how they treated that, if like his eventual death triggered a homicide from that attack in 1981. So back in here is the DuPont Circle neighborhood. A lot of beautiful old row houses that have been restored and renovated over the last 20 years, and some ugly condos. But there are some pretty buildings back here. And I think they've got some restaurants down here. What street are we on? Now, as you can see from the street markings, the rainbow colors, DuPont Circle is a very big lesbian, gay, LGBT area. Oh, there's the Amanda Gorman painting. I haven't shown you that in a while. So this is a street mural for Amanda Gorman, the woman who gave the poet a reading at the inauguration on January 20th. They painted a picture of her back here in the DC flag. I think that's the Peruvian embassy right here on the corner of Massachusetts and 17th. And let's actually, you guys had a specific request to see a new building. And that building is just over here on 16th Street. So let's cut over to 16th Street. There it is, that building under construction. You can just see the sky crane. That building, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floors, and a roof deck probably. That is the new Australian embassy. The Embassy of Australia is being rebuilt totally from giant hole in the ground to brand new building. The old Australian embassy was, well, to be honest, it was pretty crappy. So they're building a new one here. The former ambassador, Joe Hockey, who used to also be, I think, the budget guy for Australia, he knew where to find some money for a new embassy. he got that moving. So what's that? That's CSIS, the Center for Strategic and International Studies. That's the University of California system, Human Rights Campaign Fund, and then I think the National Association of Realtors. Oh, that's a WeWork building now. It used to be the Realtors. So let's see. Now, while the Australian Embassy is under renovation, the Australians are living down in this building. This white building up here on my left is the headquarters of the National Geographic Society. It also has the National Geographic Museum down here on the basement floor. But they rented out 2 or 3 floors of the top floor to the Australian Embassy, which is why you see the Australian flag flying high above the National Geographic building. Kind of want some, like a bagel or something. What do we got going on today? Jackson Road, pretty quiet, all the houses there. Come through here, made it. These fountains didn't go on this year. I'm not really sure what's up with these fountains. They've been off all year. I know that they're doing a lot of plumbing work. They were doing plumbing work in the White House, but that was on the south lawn. But you never know, maybe those pipes are all connected over to here or something like that. Up over here is a National Park Service miniature office and restroom. This was torched during the George Floyd protests. It was burned out, and it's still burned out, and I haven't seen any indication of when they plan to rebuild this. That over there, of course, is Black Lives Matter Plaza, and this is what happened during the Black Lives Matter protests, during the George Floyd protests. So I'm not sure if they're going to rebuild this or ditch it. Oh, there's that woman with the Vuvuzuela or whatever that is, blowing her horn. This is the church that was also lit on fire down in the basement. They had a small fire on a bookcase that was put out by, I think, other protesters put out the fire. This is where the photograph took place that you guys are all familiar with. Trump's Bible photo, as they call it. So now the permanent installation of a Black Lives Matter Plaza. They've got an actual map picture of what it's going to look like. It's going to have like a place for cars and a place for people to walk. This is the headquarters of the AFL-CIO, the trade association. That's the Hay Adams Hotel. It's one of the most posh hotels in DC. If you watch the movie Election with Reese Witherspoon, they filmed like the last scene in front of that, the limousine driving off from the Hay Adams. And this is St. John's. This is the church that pretty much every president since like Adams or something has attended church there. It's been around forever. Okay, let's spin down here, see what's new. Looks like we got a National Park Service crew working on the grounds today. Couple spotters up on the roof today, just chilling, leaning on their tripods. It is really a nice day. Well, they haven't mowed the grass in here in a while. Gotta get on that, guys. See, the White House grounds has like a different crew, I guess, than the Lafayette Park. So the guys, oh, there's some TV crews doing some press reviews here. So the guys who maintain this park aren't the same as the guys who maintain the White House grounds. Oh, there's Yak Woman blowing her yak horn. Someone protesting racial abuse. So nobody's there right now. They're all in Delaware. So it is about 10 o'clock, which means we got about 2 hours before we got any helicopters. Let's go find something else to do, yeah? Let's go find something cool. Actually, right over here is this tree. Yeah, this tree is kind of cool. Now you see that yellow house? That's the Benjamin Ogle Tayloe house. Now that was built by Benjamin Ogle Tayloe, T-A-Y-L-O-E, and his father was a colonel who built the Octogon House. Now I showed you the Octogon House before. That's where the White House was moved after the White House was burned. This house became like the social set. Washington, D.C. would come to this house for big parties, meet and greets, stuff like that. One day, a guy came over here. His name was Philip Barton Key. Now, Philip Barton Key was the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, but he had a father named Francis Scott Key, who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem. Now, the thing about Philip Barton Key was he was carrying on a very public affair with a woman named Teresa Sickles. Now, Teresa Sickles' husband was a congressman, a notorious womanizing congressman, Congressman Daniel Sickles of New York. Daniel Sickles of New York came out of this house, encountered Philip Barton Key somewhere right around, I think it's by that tree by the fence, and pulled out a gun and shot him dead. Francis Scott Key's son, Philip Barton Key, was murdered right over there by that tree. Now, what's really interesting about this is that Congressman Daniel Sickles went to court and said, not guilty by reason of temporary insanity. The first time there had been a temporary insanity plea in the history of the U.S. court system. And guess what? He won. For a man having an affair with your wife, of course that would drive you temporarily insane. Congressman Daniel Sickles was found not guilty of the crime of killing Philip Barton Key by reason of temporary insanity. And it all took place right over there by that tree. Anyway, I told you we could find some cool stuff in the city if we try. All right, let's go down and find a hot dog. All right, let's go down to the south side. We haven't been down to the south side in a while. It's going to close off. It'll close off in about an hour. It's only 10 o'clock. So we'll ride through the ellipse while we still can. Oh, wait a minute. Protest. Protest. Hey, there's a protest going on, guys. I have no idea who. I have a suspicion, but I don't sure. It's kind of early for a protest, to be honest. I think this is going to be a protest march, probably down to the U.S. Capitol from Freedom Plaza. I don't know who it is, but I think it might be immigration type thing. What's the sign say? National TPS. Yeah, this is temporary protected status. These are the people who are going to be thrown out because they had temporary protected status and then the INS was going to do away with it. Whoa, they're actually well down the road already. Oh, no, it's another group. We've got dueling protests. So that's the TPS protest. We've seen them a lot. Let's go to this one though. These guys are taking up the whole road and they got cops. Climate change. So these are environmental activists. They're actually ticked at Biden and they're ticked at the Democrats. So climate change is not a lie. We will not let our planet die. That's what they're moaning. All right, one protest down. Let's go see when the other guys are going to go. Maybe they're going to go to the White House. Pretty well attended. Okay, where do we go next? Back to the ellipse? Yeah. Bunch of military costumes, military dudes over here at the hotel. A couple pilots, diplomats, diplomatic tags, DDL, diplomatic. What else we got? Those are not diplomats. That's a foreign military outfit. These are not American military guys. I have to look up DDL. That might be American. That looks like an American Air Force. These are bodyguards. So when I was just explaining to you about the murder of the Francis Scott Key's son, I was talking about also the Octogon House. And this is the Octogon House, which was actually served as the White House after the White House was burned in the War of 1812. The executive office moved down here, and this is where President James Madison signed the Treaty of Ghent, which ended the War of 1812. Now, this house was built by a wealthy landowner, Colonel John Taylor, T-A-Y-L-O-E. His son is the guy who had the Taylor house over on Lafayette Park where the murder took place. But this is the other Taylor house, the Octogon, which is now maintained by the American Institute of Architects as kind of a museum. And you can come and visit here, I think in non-COVID times. Now, it's not actually an octagon, it's only 6 sides. Go figure that. Fall. Kids are back in school. School trips aren't really running, so to be expected, I suppose. And over on this side, the reflecting pool, still kind of low amount of water. Oh, there's the happy couple taking their pictures. Congratulations to you. Doing their engagement photos on the reflecting pool. Today will be the first time Marine One has flown over the flags, so they'll get a chance to see them from the air. Some people have posted some pictures from up in the Washington Monument. It's pretty impressive. There's the Lincoln in World War II. Generally, it's a pretty quiet day down here in tourist land. There's a flight of geese. $673,484 flags. The number changes every day based on the updated death count. They add more flags at night. Oh yeah, a little kid. I don't want to hit the little kid. We'll catch them again. So while these bikes are pedal assisted, and they can pedal assist up to about 20 miles an hour, they also have kind of a governor that prevents them from going much faster, which is what I'm trying to do. Because the fire trucks are 5 blocks in front of me. I can see them. I'm not going to catch them. You can just hear them.
Marine 1 flight Washington Tower, Washington Timber 3030, proceed brief 3030, brief Marine 1 flight. 1, request Route 1, Anacostia. Paddock 1, Washington Tower, watch altimeter 3030, look for traffic on a 2-mile fire front at 19ers and CRJ 700 feet. 3030, with traffic, request visit at Paddock 1. Paddock 1, visit very approved. Lucy 5026, traffic helicopter is lifting inside the P56 on the White House southbound. They'll be on southbound, they have you inside.
Let's go find some lunch. We saw our helicopter. Now let's go see a man about a burger or a chicken sandwich or something like that. Not really sure where we should eat today. Sometimes you just gotta go with what you know. Back at Rockland's.